Can I have a motion to go into open session? Thank you, Colin. Can I have a second? Thank you, Therese. Any questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Could we please rise for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so now we're going into our organizational meeting agenda, and Lisa is the temporary chairperson, and she will be taking over from this point.
Ms. Downs, you have to vote on that motion. Second.
Oh, I have to make a motion?
Yes.
Could I have a motion? Thank you, Colin. Could I have a second? Thank you, Matt. Questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion carries. Miss Lisa?
Thank you, Ms. Downs. We will begin with oaths of office taken by our re-elected board members. So if Ms. Downs and Mr. Wallace would join me at the podium.
I, Laurie Downs,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and
the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties as a member of the Board of Education of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
I, Matthew Wallace,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the State of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as a member of the Board of Education
as a member of the Board of Education
of the Riverhead Central School District
of the Riverhead Central School District
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Okay, I will now accept nominations for President of the Board of Education for the 2022-2023 school year.
I nominate Brian Conley for Board President.
Okay, are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. We will now vote for President of the Board of Education. All in favor of Mr. Connolly being the president? Okay. 7-0. So I declare that Brian Conley is declared the president of the Board of Education for the 2022-2023 school year. Congratulations, Mr. Conley. I will now accept nominations for Vice President of the Board of Education. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Lori Downs for the position of Vice President.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I declare the nominations closed. All in favor of Ms. Downs as Vice President of the Board of Education, please raise your hand. All opposed? Okay. Ms. Downs is declared Vice President of the Board of Education for the 2022-2023 school year. Congratulations. Okay, now we need to give the oath of office to both Mr. Connolly and Ms. Downs as President and Vice President. If you guys can please join me at the podium.
Sure.
I, state your name,
I, Brian Connolly,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of President of the Board of Education
of President of the Board of Education
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability. Thank you. Sure, sorry.
Raise your right hand. I, state your name,
I, Lori A. Downs,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Vice President of the Board of Education
of Vice President of the Board of Education
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability. I got it.
Okay, the meeting will now be turned over to Brian Conley, President of the Board of Education.
Yes. We move on to item F, the oath of office administered to the Superintendent of Schools.
Someone that can't work, I'm doing an awful lot of it.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Dr. Augustine E. Tornatore,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Superintendent of Schools for the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Superintendent of Schools for the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
Item G, approval of appointments. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Healy. Comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you. Now we move on to H, Oath of Office administered district clerk. Lisa, if you could join me at the podium. You raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Lisa Riem,
You solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of district clerk
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of District Clerk
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
of the Riverhead Central School District to the best of my ability.
Moving on to I, approval of CSE, CPSE members. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Colin. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to letter J, appointment of impartial hearing officers. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Colin. Let's fight over a second.
Who is it?
Colin's got it. Thank you.
Who wins?
Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion passes. Moving on to item K, financial banks as depositors of school funds. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Second? Thank you, Therese. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. Item L, official monthly board meetings. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Healy. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you very much. Item M, official newspapers and media. There are official papers, the Riverhead News Review, Southampton Press, Newsday, and Riverhead Local. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Sure.
I just hope that the official media and newspapers this year really highlight a lot of the positive things that are happening in our school district and within our town.
Thank you, Doris. Can I get a, all in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. Item N, approval of authorizations. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Therese. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Item O, other approvals. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you. And now we're going to move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. So first, I'd like to recognize that July is French American Heritage Month. A few other things to share. I'd like to welcome Dr. Assay as our Assistant Superintendent for Business. This is his first meeting with us. And I would also like to welcome Dr. Galati, as this is his first official meeting with us here. And Ms. Ashley Pope, who will be our attorney from Gercio and Gercio. So she's here as well. Okay, so I had the pleasure of attending almost all of the moving up ceremonies. There was a conflict with two, but I was able to attend them, as well as all four at Pulaski, and graduation as well. I do want to thank our Buildings and Grounds team for all the work that they did for the preparation for graduation, and also Mr. Hines and his team for the live streaming and all the work that they put into that as well. So thank you. I did just also want to share as well that this summer, as we are constantly doing everything we can throughout the year for our students, we do have summer school at the high school. In addition, we have our learning academies at the middle school. And at our elementaries, we have offerings through Scope and Camp Invention, which is a STEM opportunities for our students, as well as the extended school year as well. So those are the programs we have going on during the summer. Our team members are working on all of the physical plant renovations that were approved from the repair reserve. So that's also commencing. We will be migrating the PPS office to the old district office soon, and then after that they will begin the construction work on the 8 classrooms for the high school in the current PPS location. And then I did want to share as well that the new website did launch on the 1st of July. So we are very happy with the launching of the website, but I do want to share as well that it will be tweaked over the summer as we are going to continue to work with our administrative team to update the new website. But so far we have received positive feedback. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. Now we'll move on to public comments on agenda items.
I have a couple that were sent in from Yolanda Thompson from Bating Hollow. Her first comment was the new district website looks much improved and easier to navigate. Her second comment or question, on May 24th, the board appointed Mr. Rodney Assay to the position of Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations. At tonight's meeting, Mr. Assay is being appointed to the purchasing agent position. Will he be holding 2 positions now? If so, how is this not a conflict of duties and interest, and will his pay be increased as well?
So I did email Ms. Thompson back explaining everything and giving her that information, but I'll also share it publicly as well. Right now, our purchasing agent, who's Jeanette Velarde, has transitioned to the treasurer position. We held interviews for the purchasing agent position. We had 2 candidates who we did offer the position to, one who declined, and then we offered it to another person who declined. And we currently have reposted and are going through the interview process for the purchasing agent position. In the meantime, we needed to keep the financials flowing in the district. So Dr. Assay is temporarily going to hold this position until we could have the new purchasing agent begin and the board could approve that person. And he's not receiving any additional compensation for that.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. Any other questions from the public on consent agenda? Seeing that there isn't any, we'll move on to consent agenda. Item A, approval of consent agenda items. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Koski. Second, thank you, Ms. Downs. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none. All in favor? Motion passes. Seeing I don't think we have any old business, I'm going to move on to new business. A, designation of board members on committees. We have our audit committee, which is going to be made up of Mr. Dorr and Mrs. Healy. Our health and safety committee, which is going to be made up of Mrs. Downs, Mrs. Hosky, and Mrs. Healy. Our intergovernmental policy committee, which will be made of Mrs. Downs, Mr. Palmer, and myself. Our wellness committee, which will be made up of Mr. Palmer, Mr. Wallace, and Mrs. Zahowski. And our facilities committee, which is made up of Mr. Dorr, Mr. Wallace, and myself. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Therese. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. B, approval of contracts with the superintendent of schools. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item C, approval of library service contracts for the 2022-2023 school year. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item D, approval of membership dues. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Walls. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mrs. Zahowski. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item F, approval of positions. Oh, sorry, I missed it, my bad. Item E, approval of attendance of conferences. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Healy. Any comments, questions, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you, motion carries. Now to item F, approval of positions. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Zahowski. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Thank you, motion carries. All right, yep. Item G, approval of contracts. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item H, approval of new contract award. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Colin. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Zahowski. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item I, approval of renewal of contracts. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mrs. Downs. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mrs. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item J, amendment to approval of intermunicipal agreement. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Walls. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mrs. Zahowski. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item K, approval of rejection of bids. Thank you, Mr. Walls. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item L, first reading of revised board policies. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Colin. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Were the changes to 4810 brought down from NISBA, or were they in-house changes?
Yes, it was through NISBA.
Okay.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. Motion passes. Item M, third and final reading of revised board policies. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Walls. Can I get a second? Thank you, sirs. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Item N, approval of EBLAR. Can I get a motion? Motion. Thank you, Colin. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Downs. Questions, comments, concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, so now we have, do we have any committee reports, opportunity for board members? And do we have any board member remarks?
I do.
Okay.
I also wanted to say the website is I really enjoyed going through it. It's great, very clear. So thank you for everybody's effort with the website. And it was a wonderful graduation. So and I just want to congratulate all of our high school graduates. It was a great day.
Okay, we'll move on. Opportunity for RCFA.
Gregory Wallace, RCFA President. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Downs and Mr. Wallace for their service as Board President and Board Vice President, and congratulate Mr. Conley on moving on to Board President. And, well, Ms. Downs, you're back in the leadership anyway, so we'll have to deal with you. And congratulations on your reelection, and congratulations to Dr. Galati and Dr. Ase for joining the team, and we'll be seeing you.
Thank you very much. Opportunity for Rob. Lisa, is there a statement from them or no? Okay. All right. Then we'll open the floor up to opportunity for members of the community. Please, yes, thank you.
I'm just concerned about the future of the ROTC program, being that Gunnery Sergeant has retired, and I've heard rumors of Captain leaving. My son is an upcoming senior and has put a lot of time and energy into the program, and I was just hoping that it wasn't going to end next year.
So I just want to share with you, I see the tremendous value in this program, and it's a program that we are committed to continuing for the students of the community. We are currently in the process of replacing our one member who did leave. And regarding the other member, it is a personal matter that I can't really discuss.
I understand that. I just didn't know it. Can the program run with just one?
Yes, so the program can run. We have been in touch with the military regarding the program, and we, like I said, we are very committed and plan to continue and offer these opportunities for our students because it is a phenomenal program.
And will that leave the program on probation, being that there is only one person in charge? Will that affect the nominations, et cetera, for the students going into military academies?
So right now we are fully staffed, so we should not be encountering being on probation.
Okay. Thank you. I do have to say my personal experience with Captain was wonderful with my son, and I have to say that he did a lot with them. That's my personal opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else for public comments? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Torres. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful summer.